But what do you think has been the huge attraction for this convergence of maybe bandits and all these nefarious activities around that area?
Imoga is the largest village in Akoko Edo, at least in terms of land, if you do not say population.
Now, when you look at the land mass.
Yes, land mass, even population, arguably the largest, okay? But land mass, unarguably the largest. Bordering Okene, Okenwe, Mangongo, and Adoge. Adoge, interestingly, is even supposed to be a part of Imoga, but they've been cut across the river Ose to Kogi. So these are boundary towns or villages in Kogi, you know, and then down south, down west, we have Kakomo, we have Ibilo, and Lakwese to the west, all surrounding Imoga. You see? So the problem has been that because it has the largest of landmass, these people have come in and possess all the cardinal.
Okay, let me cut it. We'll definitely still go down and listen to you to tell us all the interesting details. But from the picture you've painted so far, and of course geography alluded to this eloquently as well, it's an important intersection. That area, and very important, a critical junction intersection where it offers gateway into different parts, different other states and different parts of the country. But what do you think has been the huge attraction for this convergence of maybe bandits and all these nefarious activities around that area?
The very first one is the
attraction first.
The availability of virgin forests, so large.
Or grazeable land.
That's number one. Availability of virgin forests. Then availability of table land for grazing that are available, and nobody is really, you know, putting them to good use because it is just large.
It might not be into good use, but who is taking ownership?
No, it belongs to Akoko Edo. It belongs to Imoga people. You know, when I say not putting them to good use, well, it's relative in the sense that if you have a virgin forest that is not used for plantation, and we use it for hunting, it's even used, I could say good use is there. We use those wilderness for hunting, and then they just come in and just start grazing all over. But in grazing all over, if they even limit it to normalized grazing, one wouldn't even complain. But they often go out of their way and out of bounds to people's plantation, plants, and destroy them, destroying the ecosystem, entering into sacred groves, you know, which is not supposed to be, and then effectively cutting off the means of livelihood, or let's just say livelihood for our people. That could be infuriating, you know. If suddenly you wake up, you see that you no longer have access to your means of survival. So such a person is going to kick.
So that is the flashpoint.
Exactly.
Okay, quickly. You also did something, you took us back in time and said, well, this thing noticeably started from 2015, 2016, thereabout. And if you look at it now, that means it's been on for the better part of, the best part of 10, 11 years. As we speak now.
Yes.
Because from 2015 to 2026, that's 11 years. And what would have thought is long a time enough for a robust intervention to have come in to arrest the slide and bring normalcy back. So both at national and sub-national level, what has been the level of security intervention to arrest this anomaly?
Well, that is the surprising part. That's the surprising part. I will definitely say that much is left to be desired in terms of intervention and application or deployment of effective measures. Well, we must admit that successive governments have tried in their own way to intervene in the scourges, but these interventions are cosmetic. They are cosmetic. By that I mean that they are what some in Yoruba parlance, bono bono, make we just do them. so that no go be like say government no dey do anything. And the next day e continue. No decisive intervention whatsoever from government. Yes, we have had the issues of forming vigilante, neighborhood watch and all that. To what extent are all these organizations being empowered and funded? We on our own have tried our best possible to address the situation, always bringing to the knowledge of the various governments, starting from the local government through the state to the federal government, but no decisive action. We have written, we have called press conferences, we have reached out to well-meaning individuals, as we say in Nigerian English, well-meaning, quote and unquote, in government. We have reached out to them, well-meaning people, but they either shift back, they keep quiet, or sympathize with you in writing, or sympathize with you in just throwing some lump sum of money, as if the money had legs and hands to do the job. They just say, oh, that's the problem. Okay, take this 500,000, go and solve the problem. But it doesn't solve it. So that's what we've been. Look at this recent time that Imoga has been being attacked on a daily basis.
In recent times, you see.
Not just recent as 9th, 10th, and even up to yesterday of this week.
Tell us about what happened yesterday.
The same, some group from 3 persons were attacked in the farm by some bandits. The same day that someone was shot at the Uniben gate, the next day it attracted the attention of the state government, and they issued a letter immediately. That same day, there was an attack at Imoga by suspected bandits or I don't like saying Fulani, suspected.
Yeah, because we don't want to
but yes, suspected bandit. And these bandits were speaking a language that we know. Some legs were chopped off, some toes were chopped off, people were mutilated, and these were broadcast.
Brought to the notice of the relevant authorities.
Yes, we did. Local government chairman is aware, is trying to do his best possible. And of course, let's even assume that we didn't inform the state government. The one in Uniben, who informed them that they quickly wrote. The news are everywhere. I'm not here to criticize any government. This government, I believe, is responsible. But a more responsible government, hearing of such a new piece of news, whether on the social media or in newspapers or television, will quickly react or even call, oh, what is happening now?
But you see, because we are on radio, and what we say travels fast. And we're also live on social media.
Yes.
And people are watching and listening to this from anywhere and everywhere in the world.
Yes.
Are you saying, okay, the most recent attack, which was yesterday, and the one that happened on the same day that there was shooting at the front of University of Benin main gate, that there have been would you say, robust response?
No robust response whatsoever.
From
Quote
the
me, and
state
I can prove it. Some 3 days back, we took a letter to the state government. And we tried to make an effort to reach out to the chief security officer of the state. But I want to believe that letter hasn't got to the table of
His Excellency.
Yes, of His Excellency, because knowing him, I think
because he is known to have been very prompt.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That
there are, instances where there have been very, and how he personally even got involved.
Yeah, we want to believe that letter hasn't got to him, but either that those letters will be writing have been prevented from getting to him, or if they got to him and he didn't react, then the explanation is not mine. I say so because in January this year, 8 persons were kidnapped from Imoga community. 8, and all from Imoga community, and they were kept incommunicado in captivity for 2 weeks.
Before they were released?
Before they were released. Not by government intervention, but
through
by
self-help?
Through self-community help. Absolutely. Absolutely. The community paid as much as over 20 million.
They paid ransom.
A poor community paid over 20 million to buy freedom for 8 of their children who were held in captivity. And you know the painful and funny thing? Those kidnapped were kept in captivity in the forest of the same village. in which they'd been kidnapped for 2 weeks.
So there was no combing of the forest.
No combing of the forest. No combing of the forest whatsoever. It is our local vigilante and our boys that enter the forest, and you know the forest is so vast, they just keep moving them from one place to another. They tried and tried and tried, but there were pointers by tracking that they were in that area. The security of the security apparatus of the state were aware of this. I have evidence to prove
that they are aware of it.
I have, as I'm talking to you now, we wrote a petition when the community rose up. We are just talking of one community. It is replicable to other communities in Akoko Edo. But we say the quintessential example now is Imoga. For the other, we wrote a petition when Imoga people rose in 2025 rather, around June, August. They rose in their mass. I have pictures, I have evidence to confront, bare-chested, armless, to confront these people. And we said, no, do not take the laws into your hand. The elite rose. The elite of Akoko Edo and the community rose and said, do not take the laws into your hand. We wrote a petition starting from the area commander, headquarters at Igara. I can mention his name. He's no longer there now. He did his best. But you know, this is also syndicated. This is also syndicated. Some people moved that petition, they countered petition and moved it to state command in Benin. And for like 1 week, 2 weeks, they didn't call the people to look at the case. And so those who wrote the petition, repetition to zone 5 in Benin City. As I'm talking to you now, since that petition was written in September 2025, the case is still being investigated.
Almost 8-9 months afterwards.
Yes, and we are expecting the report. We've been asking for the report up till this moment.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Bode.
So they can't say they are not aware. And we did this to, sorry sir, sorry, we did it. One is passionate about this. I'm saying this because this is a good opportunity so that, of course, tension, war is already starting in those areas. So that when they begin to kill people, of course, unfortunately, perhaps, it's our people are going to be killed because we don't have guns.
Well,
I'm sorry to say that. We don't want that.
We pray it doesn't get to that.
But look, I'm a sincere person. It starts by cutting legs and cutting arms. Those who cut your arms, if they have the opportunity, will they not kill you? Have they not even killed you by cutting your toes, by cutting your legs? Have they not killed you? Then they will bring relief materials. I'm telling you now, I'm not afraid because I stand on truth. We have tried to prevent violence. When violence now comes and they kill anyone, will government not take relief materials?
Well, like I say, and I'll repeat again, we will not encourage or back or endorse violence in any way, form, or shape. And I can also empathize with the people of Akoko Edo, Imoga. There's been a hotbed of not very good activities in recent times. And I also want to believe that with this broadcast this morning, relevant authorities, appropriate authorities are also getting this feedback, just in case some of them have not been aware of this happening or going on in the affected areas before now. Israel.
Well, I've been interested in what the state government is doing. You alluded to the effort made to get in touch with Mr. Governor and then perhaps other principal officials of government in that regard. So let me shift my focus to the security agencies. What's the security architecture around Akoko Edo, in Mogas specifically? You've said this is a hotbed. This is where it concentrates. And there are a lot of interconnecting communities around the Moga. So what's the security architecture? Is it that we don't have presence of security men? Is it only police you have? You don't have military men, local vigilance? What exactly do you have on ground?
I'll be lying if I say that there aren't some levels of security architecture in Akoko Edo. That would be.
Then is it that the architecture is overwhelmed?
The architecture or structure is weak. That's number one. It is weak. Number two, it's not been well funded. Number three, there are, the fall of an empire usually starts from what they call internal factors. Okay, what is happening in Akoko Edo is syndicated.
In what sense? Please.
Syndicated in the sense that it's a business for foreigners with local accomplices. That's the truth. Even in Imoga.
What is the business attraction in all of this?
The business attraction in all of this is that, let's again take the conditions, the very bad conditions of Imoga, for example. Imoga has vast land. In the beginning of time, when we started, for example, shouting about this problem, some people who are landlords to grazers, some people were landlord to them. The argument was that they gave their lands, their family lands, to
Herders.
herders. And when you tell them the danger this might portend, they argue that it is not your father's land. It is their father's land they have given to Fulani. And so A gives, B follows, C follows. And before you know it, the community is surrounded by foreigners.
So there is an influx, so to
Yes,
say.
they are influx. And when they are more in number, they have numerical strength. And so you no longer can confront them. Secondly, also taking the case of Imoga as a quintessential example, is that we have vast virgin forests. So some of them just come in without invitation.
Okay, these ones don't even pay any land.
Yes, they could be there for like 1 year before our hunters discover them. These are land going 70 kilometers, 15, 25. So sometimes people don't go there. So once in a while, hunters go there. They just see a sprawling communities of camps of herders in the forest. And so when you ask them, how did you come here? Say, now your land, now God get land. then yes, that's what. Now your land is not your land. Now God get land. We can be here, and we are Nigerians. One Nigeria. 2, 3. There are also some people that are talking of the business and the syndication. There are also some so-called influential people, locally influential indigenous, who give these vast forests out to them.
And they get paid.
Yes, they make a lot of money from it.
So do they collect these payments on behalf of the larger
No, they do
community,
not.
or
They do not. They collect for themselves.
Royalties.
They collect for themselves. And when you challenge them, because some of them are they are influential, they tell you that it's community land.
But if it's community land, do they collect the money?
No, not on behalf of the community. Individuals, they just do that. And so a big problem arose. Now, let me also tell you what the people, we're talking of the architecture. Please, in Akoko Edo, they are not enough.
Okay.
That's the truth.
In terms of numerical strength?
Yes, as big as Imoga is, doesn't have a police station or post. I'm talking of a community of more than 20,000 inhabitants.
No police station.
No police. Yesterday we had a meeting. The one who collects electric power rent, what do you call them now? Tariff. Okay, said that there are about 500 houses in the community. Let us even say that it is only five persons are in that, and you know what the village is. Times it. No police post. So how can that be enough? Then there's something before you call police to come from Igara Ibilo. They've run away.
What is the distance between Igara and Imoga?
The distance between Igara and Imoga is more than 20 kilometers.
Wow.
About 30 kilometers.
So if you are driving it, I don't know the state of the road. How long does it take?
If you are driving from Igara to Imoga, it will take you more than 1 hour because of the badness of the road.
So if there is even an SOS call, it takes at least an hour before help will
They will
arrive.
not even come, because to even pass the road is a problem. That's another thing creating the problem. So sometimes these bandits just come out of the road and wait for you, because you just drive and hand over yourself to them.
Perhaps
Yes.
one more thing to be looking at will be solutions. Because where we have problems and then you can diagnose them rightly, then you can begin to say, okay, perhaps if we put this in place, we can have a way forward. Now, from what your observations, being a member of that community, what possible solutions will you say the security agencies can take on board, the state government can take on board, even local
And the
government?
local community itself. Because you spoke about some complicits in the
Yes.
local community.
Let me start from the local community, then go up to the local government, and of course to the state and perhaps federal. The local community has been doing a lot. For example, let me tell you what happened. Do you know, sir? Do you know that as recent as on the 19th of April, 2 kidnappers were caught in the community? 2 kidnappers by local effort. And how did it happen? A merchant came to the community to buy cows. You know, Hausa merchant. And then they arrange and kidnap the man. The man is based at Ibilo. He came down to Imoga to buy cows. And they arranged and kidnapped him and placed a ransom of 10 million on his head. So while his family tried to raise 4 million or 5 million thereabout, and they wanted to deliver it. In the process, the man escaped from his kidnappers.
Oh, the abductee escaped.
I'm telling you, somehow, I don't know what happened, he was able to escape. In fact, he discovered and knew the kingpin. And so they were going to kill him. But somehow, I don't know what happened.
Miraculously.
Yes, he escaped into the bush and raised an alarm and shouted. And our boys poured out into the forest. And let me tell you whom they arrested. One of the ones we thought was the best. I will now mention name because that one is established. One of the best we thought amongst the Fulani in the village was the one arrested. This is a young man who knows all the houses, who eats with the natives, and has his own camp right behind the secondary school called Uma Secondary Commercial School in Imoga, right behind children. He is so known, so good, so loved that we could have given him a chieftaincy title. And so he was the one arrested as the kingpin. I have the pictures, I have the evidence. And then he was taken to the Oba, sat down, and he confessed and said, "Now God catch me."
Oh, he said God caught
He said,
me.
"Now God, now he catch me. I am the one. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing. This is how I've been doing it."
You know,
For how many years? now? For how many years to be?
No, he said this story
I'm
started
saying that
back
this was a thing of this last month. He was arrested.
19th of April.
And
Yeah,
when
doing this
you
for-
have breakthroughs like this, and you now expect if those who put
So do you now
patient
hand? Did you
efforts-
hand him over?
Hold on,
to-
let Nigeria will say, "Let me land." Let me land for my flight. And you say, you know, the reaction again was maybe we were stupid. The reaction was that buy am, you know what that means. And then the elite, of which I am
So no,
a
don't do
member,
that.
we always intervene and say, don't kill anybody.
Hand
If
him
you
over.
kill, that is murder. And and we were say, hand him
Your
over.
intervention was the right
Handed him
one.
over to the Oba of the community, king of the community, who handed him to Ibilo Police Division. And following his confession, other arrests were made and was handed over to taken to whisk to Benin. At least this one, the PRO confirmed it. It's in the news that yes, we is here, we have him. Okay?
ASPNO.
I'm telling you, yes, he confirmed it. She confirmed it. I beg your pardon. Right? Since on the 19th of April. Okay, that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. The community now said, if this one that we thought is even our brother is the one that is their kingpin, then all of you must go. And so we started, the people now started evacuating the Fulani. And the model they adopted, so wonderful, I've never seen it before. Maybe it's God's prayers. They just go to the camp, they order them, and they start moving by themselves. They start tearing their camp by
Well, because
themselves.
of time,
Yes,
definitely we are going
but
to continue this
the
conversation.
question before we
Maybe
quickly
later
leave, yes,
later
the
in the
question
inside
quickly
the-
leave is that these two kidnappers that have been arrested, where are they?
Okay, we will ask
Where are
the
they?
appropriate authorities.
So the government cannot say they do not know.
All right, let's take some reactions now. And if you find this conversation interesting, as we do, it's going to continue. Every Thursday evening, you know what we do from 8
Inside
o'clock
Edo State.
inside Edo State. I'll crave the indulgence of Dr. Bode Ekunda to join us again. I mean, these matters are serious matters, and we need to continue this conversation. But at the moment, we need to go to the phone line, get some feedback, and before we call it a wrap on the program this morning.